Who ends the season higher this year? Penn State, Alabama?
Man, that's a great question. And don't
look at T-Rich looking around over there.
And don't give me no side eye, T-Rich, either, bro. I see y'all play. I don't give me no side eye. It wouldn't shock me one bit if they met in a bowl game. To be honest with you,
thinking that's where it's
New Year's Six Bowl.
Right. Who finishes higher in the top 25? Man, who y'all got left, T-Rich? Like who y'all got? I know y'all gonna beat up on Auburn and you know what I'm saying, and Vanderbilt and all that. But who y'all got left of note? Y'all don't. Who do you have? What ranked opponents do you?
They got LSU, don't they? They got LSU.
Okay, that's legit. So LSU and we got Michigan. Anybody else ranked?
They got LSU. Kentucky's not ranked, but Kentucky, you got at least respect them. But then they got Chattanooga and Auburn. So
yeah, we don't play all our big contenders in the beginning of the season,
right?
Or at least halfway through.
But then they're gonna have Georgia in the SEC championship, so they're probably gonna lose that one.
And then what ranked opponents have they beaten?
Have they beaten
Tennessee?
Yeah, Tennessee.
They beat Tennessee.
And we beat Iowa.
Ole Miss at the time.
Iowa has not lost since we beat them, and Iowa has one of the top 5 defenses in America. And what was the other one?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
They were ranked when they beat them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Texas A&M was ranked when we beat them.
Texas A&M was ranked.
Okay.
At that time, yeah.
So right now, if we don't play them in a bowl and get a chance to beat them, I would say right now, Alabama's probably trending to finish higher. The question is, can we get them in a bowl game? That would be the question, because like Ohio State, I think this is not the same Alabama squad. I think Alabama's a little vulnerable this year, and defensively, I like our chances against their offense. I think Alabama would struggle to score points against our defense. I'm not sure.
Iowa just lost to Minnesota. Row your boat.
Oh, did they lose to Minnesota? Really?
Yeah. They lost to row your boat.
Oh my goodness! They lost on Saturday. On Saturday?
Yeah, T-Rich is just staying quiet.
I would say he smelled blood in the water though in Bama. He said he smelled blood in the water.
A little vulnerable over there, bro. A little vulnerable. And you got your coaches a little more focused on what everybody else is doing recruiting wise, which is really crazy to me. I couldn't believe some of the comments he made about recruiting and NIL. That was shocking. I'm gonna be honest. This is all jokes aside. That was shocking to me. It was some of the things he said about NIL and all that stuff. And this is a coach that has profited literally off the backs of young people, and he wants to limit NIL and all of that stuff. I think it's him and Kiffin that made some comments like that. Man, that was disappointing because, as we all know who played college football on this broadcast, those are employees that are unpaid, and so that was a little bit shocking. I got a lot of respect for Coach Saban. He is arguably the greatest college coach to ever live, and I played for Joe Paterno. I'm saying that, but that was disappointing.
Man, I think what people don't realize what Nick is saying, right? And he said this before, the NIL stuff, kind of went along. He's for the NIL stuff. When Nick brought it up, and they had a whole committee about it, and this is when. What's my girl named Pat from Tennessee when she was still alive? Remember they had Coach K, all them other guys up there.
It was a couple years ago, right?
Pat Summit.
Yeah, they had
years ago.
Yeah. So I don't think that it's about kids getting paid. I think it's about setting these kids up for the future.
The structure.
And it's just structure, and I get it, but I think what's really bothering Nick right now is the transfer portal, because at first, when they first came out, they didn't really have a hold on it. Even now, they still don't really have a hold on it because you still get one transfer and you can do whatever you want to do, right? But going back to this Penn State situation.
Talk to me, T-Rich. Talk to us.
I think the last time Penn State been in a game with Bama.
Look,
that was wearing those, T-Rich.
I went into Tuscaloosa and got a dub, so I don't know what he's talking about. And I wasn't wearing those. And that was my coming out party. ESPN at night got 2 sacks against Barker. I think that was the name of the quarterback. I don't know if y'all remember that dude.
Yeah, Barker,
yeah, but so
Barker.
I don't know what T. Rich talking about. I personally went in there and saw those silly little boxes of soap powder with rolls of toilet paper on them and laughed on the way out of the stadium as we got that dub under the lights. So my memory don't go past that.
My guy said, listen, I had a face mask on. I had traditional shoulder pads and cleats on. I was swagged out, and he got a dub. But
the turf was janky, though.
I will give you that.
Is he pulling out receipts? What are you doing, bro?
I think he is. What you looking at, T. Rich?
All right, it's time for me to go. Hey, Coach, I got to get out of here. I don't have time for receipts. I don't have time.
Stay right there. And
hey, Ty, you got Coastal Carolina. While Ty's looking up this, I know you got to get out of here. Coastal Carolina, man. You know, the head coach left and goes to Liberty. He thought it was a bigger job, bigger step as Hugh Freeze left Liberty to go back to Auburn. Where are you at with Coastal Carolina's direction now that he left and they're still doing their thing right now, and Marshall's on the rise? There's a good game Saturday, huh?
I do, yeah. Coach Huff is a good friend of mine. You know, he coached at Penn State. Coach Huff, the head coach at Marshall. They play great defense at Marshall. And, you know, they have one of the better runners in that conference who's injured right now. His name is escaping me right now. But I think that's been a problem with their offense. But, you know, defensively, they are one of the best defenses in that conference, and again leads it in third down percentage. They got a kid playing Micah Abraham playing cornerback who I played with, his dad Donnie Abraham. You might remember him. Micah's going to be a NFL player just like his dad. You know, their head coach Tim Beck came in, and his number one thing was, this is for Coastal Carolina now, switching to Coastal Carolina. Head coach Tim Beck came in. His number one get was keeping Grayson McCall there. They had a 3-time conference player of the year at quarterback. That's rare, you know, and he got one more year left. And so he hopped in the portal as soon as his head coach left, which is understandable. And, you know, so they got him to stay, which is a huge win. However, it hasn't been a smooth transition because they sold it on, we're going to play a pro style offense, because if you remember, Coastal was a gun spread triple option team.
Triple, yeah.
Yeah, and now they're in the gun, but they're more pro style. And so we're going to teach you how to be a pro, Grayson, because we think you have pro ability, which he does. He has a strong arm and can run, obviously. He's running that triple option. But it hasn't been a smooth transition. And they've had some growing pains. He's getting better. He's questionable for the game in terms of health because he does take his hits because he does run, but he's a very talented player. So I'm interested in seeing if Grayson McCall is back. Is he healthy? Is he better than the last time I saw him about 4 weeks ago? Has the grasp of the offense become better? Coastal's always had athletes on the outside, and this would be my first trip to the Teal Turf, man, down in just outside of Myrtle Beach. So I'm looking forward to this trip, man. It's a fun place to go. And so Marshall is going to have to bring pack their running game and their defense. If their star tailback is back, their defense is up to it. I think they got a chance to pull off an upset, but that running back has to play. But I think it's going to be a great matchup, man. Coastal Carolina, again, Grayson McCall, 3-time Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year, is one of the best players in the country, and a lot of people haven't seen him play.
I think that J.J. Roberts was the Marshall back.
You know what? Is that his name? The guy that's injured? I think that's his Marshall. I don't think that's I think that's a starter now, but there was a guy. I got to pull up my notes now. Now I got to go to my receipts like T. Rich was doing.
T. Rich, he's been waiting patiently to say something. He has the glasses down. T. Rich, go ahead.
Well, I do know this. The last 2 times we played Penn State, I went for 144 with 22 carries for 6.5 yards my sophomore year. In Tuscaloosa, that place you said you got to win in Alabama, which I think that was in Birmingham, but I'm going to keep going.
It was Birmingham, actually. My bad. Good call.
Yeah. Then the next year, we went to Happy Valley, right? And I gave them 26 carries 111 yards with an average of 4.3.
Now you ain't bragging on 4.3, T. Rich. Stop it.
With
I watch you
with 2 touchdowns. I'm not done yet. With 4 catches for 22 yards. Kickoff return for 60.
He going
A sack.
Hey.
I over here Googling his shit like
right. Exactly. Look, all I remember is I had 2 sacks. That's all I remember. I probably had a couple tackles and hurries, but I had 2 sacks.